Is it me or what? I seem to spend most of my time cleaning things up in the workshop. People come and have a little job done and I say, well, it only took you 10 minutes, and I usually get a few quid out of them and off they go. They don't realise all the clearing up and the sharpening of tools and the washing down machines you have to do. Anyway, I keep and collect everything. I'm having a good old clear out today, and I've gone under the benches and high shelves and pulled down all sorts of stuff. Well, I knew I had it, but been out of sight for years, you know, and I pulled out these old transformers from under the bench, covered in dust and grot. That's the trouble with grinding. What is it? What's that say? 26 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 amp AV for winding. Cells, something to do with battery charging, I guess. Oh, it's got a label on it. What's it say? Electronic Developments Burley Limited, electronic transformers, motor control gear, Burley, and a phone number. There's no code in front of the number, so pretty old. So, battery charging charger. Oh, that's nice. I'll blow that out. You've got a bigger one here and a bigger one there. This one, let's see if I can zoom in a bit. This is just how I got them from under the bench, right? Oh dear, look. Oh. Hello, there's writing there. Hang on. What's this one? Electronic Developments Bird. Same people. Well. Where's a rag? Oh, I got something I can do a quick clean with. Pom 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 pom. I can't see anything. Bit of spit. There we go. What we got along here? I've got some writing there. Oh, that label's up that way and that's up the other way. 26C, 26 cells, 10 amps. That's nice. Let's come round here. Input 200 to 258. Oh, it's different connections, right. Well, that's rather nice also, isn't it? Ooh, blimey. Will I ever use them? That's the thing. Will I ever use them? Maybe, one day. How things have changed. Oh dear. Well, a good boat anchor, wouldn't it? Oh dear. Trouble is, if I blow it out with an air gun, all this dust is going to go somewhere else, isn't it? Anyway, they're interesting. That's this one. Oh, come here. Oh, blimey. Now this is a nice thing. I remember this. This old beastie. Cobwebs. This old beastie came out of a machine. Oh, I wish I had it now. But for some reason it was broken up. God, I'm going back years. But let's pan back a bit. This monster, look at the output of this. This monster was a centrifugal casting machine. It was a jewellery making business, and you had a big arm with a counterweight at one end and a sort of a crucible about that round in graphite, and this thing heated up that graphite red hot, or more than red hot, and then it was spun round and centrifugal forces threw the gold or silver or whatever it was they were casting into the mould, and it swung out like a swing. Massive machine it was, and this transformer provided the current the current for heating up that crucible. So this would make a nice electric furnace, wouldn't it? Or a welder. Make a nice spot welder, wouldn't it? Wonder what this gives out. Right. Mains in there. You would think it would say, wouldn't you? Just as I am. Nothing on there. No names. No labels. Ooh. Well, I suppose we can only go by the ratio and the thickness of that output. And that is copper. That is solid copper. Goodness gracious, that's got to be hundreds of amps, isn't it? Hundreds of amps. Right, any suggestions? Now, don't be rude. Any suggestions what I can do with this? Or will it go back under the bench for another 20, 30 years? Probably. These more modern type transformers, toroids or whatever you'd call, somewhat more efficient. Who's that one? Talmar, Noventum 10, Crawley Company, Donegal, Ireland, and a phone number. Ireland, very neat, aren't they? Same here. That one's marked. It's 12 volt. There's a bigger one here. Ooh, and somebody has kindly put the 35035 out, mains in. That's a nice one. There's nothing to stop you using that the other way around, of course. Having a flip-flop of some description on the secondary is the input and getting mains out. But you can buy little inverters about this big now. It'll do probably 10 times that. What do they call it? Switch mode power supplies or whatever. I can't think of the term. Horrible system where they chop the mains up into little bits and spit it all out. They're forever going wrong. But that's the way they go and that's the way things are nowadays. Talking about things changing, I've pulled out this old Lucas voltage current regulator. Come out of a car somewhere. Where's a screwdriver? A mate of mine had a... Poor old boy, his boat's been broken up, but he had a very old two-stroke engine and that had a dynamo and one of these to charge the battery. And a mate of his who knew every bloody thing, he said, oh, you want to get an alternator on there, get rid of that old dynamo. He said, alternators give out far more, this, that and the other. But what the Noel failed to appreciate is that in a boat, you're probably going along for hour after hour at one constant revs, and you haven't got to put back into the battery like in a car, where you could have a short journey and so forth and so on. And the thing with a dynamo is it gives far purer DC than any alternator will, and it's much kinder to the batteries, but nah, you wouldn't have it. Aren't they lovely? Don't make things like that now, do they? The condition is pretty good inside, so despite the grotty exterior, which would clean up, that would work perfectly okay. Don't make things like that nowadays, do they? It's all a little black box, isn't it? Or some horrid little three-legged monster. Oh dear. I much prefer the older stuff, sort of being a nuts and bolts guy. I think I would have been a lot happier in Victorian times. Steam engines and the like. I love old machinery. It's alive and it has a soul. Nowadays, well, I'm a lover of modern technology. Don't know why I'm doing these videos, really. Certainly not into social media rubbish. People, where's another screwdriver? People send me all sorts of things on Facebook or this, that. Means nothing to me. I don't do any of those things. I've learnt how to make this rubbish on YouTube. God knows how. Yeah, I quite enjoy doing that and talking to you guys. But all the other stuff, I just not into the Twitters and all the rest of it. Not into it. Don't want to know. Dinosaur. Luddite. Call me what you like. I don't care. I'm leaving it all to you lot. The trouble is, what do you do with all this rubbish? Look, lovely meter there, look. Amps. 600 amps. Start my own power station, maybe? Oh dear. I've always got some info on there, look. Can't remember where all this stuff comes from. I think there's some generation firm or something to do with generation, I suspect. That's lovely. Absolutely lovely. You wouldn't buy that today. Well, you might do. What am I going to do with it? It'll probably end up in a skip somewhere. And I kick the bucket. More to do with. Hurts me to look. Cycles in my day. Hang on. What we got here? We got some. Got a label. Hawker Siddeley. Crompton Instruments. 8 Shafton Way, Leicester. Type. And number. Well, that's interesting. How do they measure the frequency of the mains? That would be worth looking into. Trouble is, you put something like that, because I'm probably never going to use it. You put something like that on eBay and you get all the plonkers, don't you? The idiots who ask you stupid questions. Will you post it to the Outer Hebrides and God knows what? It's not worth the trouble. It's easier to chuck it in the bin. Hang on, does that sound familiar? Okay, well, to conclude, I've cleaned up all this, all these shelves, all these boxes. We won't mention the cupboard. I've got that lot to sort out. Oh, good.